Well, we're gonna go weather and Wabbit hole today. So I should maybe be able to see some comments as they go along. And so to assist myself with that, I'll pull my feet up on the other computer here in a moment. And I'm having a look at something here. And so I'll share it with you guys. Let me see how this looks as I look at this screen here. Bring that into focus for you guys. See, I've been looking at the shape of this island here. Uh-oh. And you know, the possibilities that as I'll zoom in on this. You know, what's the shape of this thing around Oprah's neck? It looks like a rudimentary shape of that other island. Here, I'll do like that. The best I can do is what I can do. And while this image is very current, that beam there is cut off the Venturi airflow between these islands here. I've already looked at Hawaii. The main island is doing a big fudge box. So I want to see where that big storm that's coming toward them is going to go. Yes, I'm very curious. I'm looking into the rabbit hole of this whole thing. And I've seen some terrible occurrences going back in time. And from these cans and they're released, you got a ship right here. See the rays coming like that? There's a device right here. Doing something. See what this happening here. Yeah, I'm looking at an image right here. So I'm going to try to get this into frame for you guys so you can see some of what I'm looking at here. I'm looking at is the Hawaiian Islands right now on the slider. And I'll play that for you. I got about 200 frames loaded. That's the same setup that burned them last time. Look at the curl it causes down here on this island of Maui over here. See, where's the flows of the wind get trapped? Where are they getting released? What is the main island doing? So you go back and look. You know, which radar's doing what. And I'm going to have a bit of a radar tour. I'm going to have a bit of a look at see, that Venturi is fairly shut. Look how the storms react when they get to the other side of the line. It's very active. So we know this one's beaming here, cursed here. That one's beaming kind of down here. This one's beaming here at full line. Absolute full on pulse and more than one layer of the atmosphere. So we watch how the eddies form and which layer of the atmosphere are they beaming as well. It needs to be taken into account when you got these dipole antennas. There's a gap right here and here. So you can see where the main tendencies of flow are going. There's a lot of scatter rays going through here. It ain't just a spark gap. It's just weather manipulation. Somebody's got a back door to the next reds, I think. And I can check all of them. I'll go over here to this one here controls the river of moisture around the island. Or watch what happens to the condensates when they get here. They're gone. A lot of these will be features off the mountains and variousnesses of the land, which some of it is not. But if the radar wasn't pulsing like that, it wouldn't be. But just know, to look at this, you got no storms. Right, but I'm just trying to teach you how to read this a little bit. This is what you'll get out of this. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't get you on screen good enough to do that. But look how it's beaming the whole river. I'll go over that again. The condensates change as they go in. Here, right there for you. And good morning out there, Carrie Ann Nelson. And so we can go in a lot. And this is what I did for Hawaii. And I've been watching very closely. And what is that? And it gives you the names of the radars and stuff. I've passed this link before to people, so you can get to what you load and all that, like I go through. Bzzz, getting fried. See, she's pulsing. Every once in a while, you get colored tickles over there, pulsing in between that island, controlling the flows of the air throw. That might have a natural effect to draw things back through another, depending on the directions of the wind and the flow that interacts with the strongest direction of wind will cause circulations to happen. See, they're even beaming toward this island here. Oprah's lay. The cans are a bit of a concern. I might even broach that a little bit. Oh, come on. I got to turn it. Hey, watch that a moment while I turn on my other monitor. Here we go. Yeah, let's let that get on. Now slumber toll gets brought into consideration. Hey, isn't it fun to do the weather? Rather than do two of these, I'm just going to do it all in one. I'm going to look at a lot of things. So your voices typing to me will be necessary. Very necessary for me to answer your questions and show stuff. All right, let's pull up the live feed here. Oh, come on. Do I have to do a bunch of crap? Hey, they got no cookies to agree to. Yeah, go on. Eat all my motherfucking cookies, Zucky. Oh, did I just try to log into an old Facebook account? That Facebook will never allow me to go on it. That account is long since gone. Sorry about this, folks. Are you bored with this one yet? Well, you see the flows, how they go in. I could do lots of stuff on this site. This site's a little much fun. So I'm going to look a bit around the world side next Reds now, and we'll go over to have a look at the regional maps. Conus over here. We'll have a good look at what's blasting over the last some odd hours, so I can get a good look at of what's going on. So it's loading now. We'll find the live feed here. Come on. Pinocchio's arguing picture. Alright, oh, it shows like I'm giving a talk. There we go. I can mute this. We're back in business again. I should have done ahead of time, but there we go. That's not my favorite radar to use for this. Yeah, it's not really very good. So I'm going to go to a different one. And I'm going to show you my face for a moment. Why? Because this is how I roll. Because I might have to describe some more. Did you see how it blocked things in the island so you could catch a wedge? And it would pin the wind toward the station. And it would actually increase its velocities as it came in, or the condensational collisions had to make the droplets bigger, depending on the layer of the atmosphere they're beaming. I've been catching up some incredible temperature anomalies in some of the wind levels today, which is telling me they're moving cold particles or something very fast into an area. And I saw that down at Baja this morning, where it should be very warm. Which one I want? Rambus for this. Right, I'm going to show you a great big old, this is the USA. Should be a big loop. Oh god, I got so much stuff here I could show you guys. It's not the one I'm wanting. Here's what this went on full. Let's go to sub-regionals. I'm about to do a little something here. Right, I'm going to pull up the radar stations now. Along the coastline. I'm going to start with San Diego. Yeah, I'm jumping right in. I ain't playing no games this morning. Right, here's San Diego's radar beams right now. We get some big guiding lines that have been put down. It's going to be more difficult to show you guys. Right, I'm sideways screen, so I'm going to go sideways screen. I'm experiencing a technical difficulty. Right, she's very much beaming. Right, you see this here? Now I'm going to get this where you can see it better. Right, this is what's going on now. All the condensates are hitting a collision course here. But the two main flow directors are coming out in this direction here and this direction here. So they're going to direct this inland fairly quickly here after it gets around Los Angeles area. It hits these valleys, pinpoint end. When the winds and all the rains hit this corridor here, they're going to suddenly release the condensate. It's going to be a pressure drop. And you might even see a bit of fog appear. It'll be hard to see the sky, down low level haze. And when that occurs, the corridor of feed is set up here. Right, bomb just went off in there. You can see it happening, the nucleations of it. And I can show how to see that a little later. Because I ain't in no rush. And as I move down here across the Mexican border, Tijuana and all that, the storm is fairly being caught to ride the lull out here and to aim Just right along the border here through Tijuana. You could just see the beam just here, the guider. The guider coming from San Diego. See it right there? See it? I'm going to go over some of the next rad imagery that I got. And this was at 8:20 at a 10:14Z. Whatever Z is in this one. It's probably my time because it's one of the last few clicks. See, universal time. And these islands here are getting pulsed. See it out here? Watch. It is a pulsation. You got a lot of Navy vessels out there, a lot of radars, but that's not a spark gap because it didn't disappear as well. And that's time difference, beginning feed, and if this is beginning, this is end. So I can go down here and go through a lot of different radars. All right, I'm going to go all up the coast. As close down here as I can get down to Mexico. And this station here is called, I'll tell you when it comes up. Oh, they didn't put the name on it. And then you get to telling, this is this one. Down here, kind of like Arizona and New Mexico way. More like New Mexico, I think. Anyways, let's get this slider. Good slider. And have at it. So this is it coming in. And it's going to react a bit funny when it hits the condensates. And this is one of the best views I could get of Baja. And this is the growing field area where those lakes are, where I was pointing at yesterday in that video. And this is a high target area for the land barons to grab the farmlands. And my heart goes out to the migrant workers that are across the borders in California and over here in these areas where there are isolated pockets of fields that are going to get direct tendrilization attack. We'll just basically just drop a bucket on it. You see the beam sweat running through here? I do. See a spike right there? Here and here hitting a certain level of the atmosphere, causing flows, causing direction, causing perturbation walls of heated outflow energy that'll aim things in. You see, just getting a tickle of one coming through here, pointing right at the radar station here. And another one right here. Here's a crush one coming from up here. So someone in the United States one is just attack Mexico. That's how I see it. I want to know the treaties that allowed it. Or is that what the Paris Agreement was all about? Perturbation experiments might be done in both. I do not know the answer to that, and we all deserve an honest answer to every question we have. All right, let's just go there. Boy, there was a beam going up through there before the storm got to it. Or it's hitting that one while it's going away from that area. So let's go look at another area here. And the whole sky looking like a dairy area. Because I'm going to do my homework here. I wish I could run this whole thing. So let me go backwards here. I got another card pulled up. Additional sites. Guam. Puerto Rico. We're not going to look at Puerto Rico yet. Puerto Rico is storm total. I don't know what the hell this one is. I've never actually seen that one. Isn't that interesting? Oh, we're back to Hawaii. Why was it doing that? So that means all what fell. So all the rain that fell was out to sea. Okay, go there. What we got in the next lab? You'll watch me. I'm going to be running with some screens here. Right, let's see if we can get the whole United States of hysterical up. All at once. No, it ain't going to be letting me do that. Well, let's go regional. Now let's go continental. Let's see if we can get her in. Let's see if we can get the whole next right at once. So we can read the corridors. It took that site out. I was showing it the other day right from there. I'm very familiar with using this. So that's going to go sub-regional then and take it down to the corner down here. Let's see what's coming. Let's see what's going on. And I could change the wavelengths. Looks like the low is centered right over here of the Isle de San Clement. No, that one's Isle de Guadalupe, I believe. So a lot of action happens when this low goes around this hooky out bit here. So let's run that. You ain't going to see too many beams in that, but I'll be able to pick up the flow. And we know where the beam lines are now, right? So we could predict where it might change. It's interacting with one now here. So I could take it down to a sub-regional now. And let's have a better look at that. We get a little closer in. The slider will react a little bit different. I can get next red on that. No, speed and cunt. Yes, it is. You see that it cunted me. We got no comments yet. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, I'm looking over my shoulder over here. There's a very, very big deployments have been bombed up into existence over here. Hey, so let me see if I could change the band here to infrared. Have a quick peek. Hey, see what's going on. Slow it down, bringing the bombs. Oh, look at the flow. Path of least resistance. Baja California, at the area that I'm most worried about is right here where all this stuff's going to hem. Lots of chem bombs going off right here, 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 and here. Look at the bombs going off over here. Isn't this the Bay of Baja or something? I can't remember the name. Bada bing, bada bang, bada bong, that. Oh, the island's hemming it in. No, that's not San Clemente's over here. There's some fryers on this one. I got it mapped. There's not enough images of the bombs here. Let me tickle this up to 48. This should be sufficient. I can show it all coming in. You want to see it? So we can have it updated? Why not? Let's 200 frame this for the smell of it all. We could watch the bombs coming in. Inundating Mexico, directions of flow over here coming toward that one. See the bombs go off on this? That bears further investigation on a more of a localized sector. Definitely the EMF lines from the big beams I showed yesterday are interacting with this now. See the face go by? It's nice to see faces in clouds. I sure wish people would see the elephant in the room sometimes. Oh yeah, man, look at the bombs in there. Look at the coming in. It's about the best zoom I'll be able to get on this if I do this. I should really jump in a minute. It's about the best I can get you at. I'm right at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to take it up just a nat's kick. See, look at this here. This is very unnatural looking. So let's have a good look. Okay, so this here is at August 23rd. Or 19th, 23. So 19th of August, 2023, at 18:06.17, 17 seconds after. So this is 6 o'clock at night, 6 minutes after. That's a devilish number. A UTC. So what do we see here? Well, we see a field of chem bombs right here, making the King's Crown. I got lots of individual deployments of whatever the hell is in the sky that we deserve that honest answer for. Everybody says to me what's in it. Well, we could tell you what's in hair samples, soil samples, and variousnesses. There's a wave interaction here. Or another bomb went over the top and dropped something dark. But judging from that line there, intersecting when I say you have a ship or a device in the sky up here, perturbing the atmosphere. You got lots of different flows. See the V there? I'm looking at these flow lines, even all the way up where you can hardly see. Really, even up a little bit here. If you look over here in the corner of New Mexico, I'll go down and get it. I'll go to the localized down here, the corner of New Mexico. You'll see this big ass deployment. Right down here is Arizona. This is New Mexico. Get right down to the bottom. Give you guys a slider view. And again, this one's time stamp at the beginning is the same, except it's 11 minutes after 6 o'clock in the morning UTC my time. 6 o'clock at night my time out here will be. Give me a moment to do my calculation. See how the circulation curved and split? This went that direction, that went that direction. This went underneath that one. See? It's a big perturbance move. It should have hung out with that. But no, this whole field of bombs, something went along here. Like that military style one I showed you. And deployed a bunch of some payload in the sky up here. And these are not natural round burnt turning supercells that you would expect to see in the summertime over here in this part of the world. The Badlands. Look at this. It ain't the land's fault if people are doing things that are bad. This is bad. Es muy mal. Mucho trabajo por Roberto. Look at the bamba. Kemba bamba. Bam 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 bam. Kemi bam 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 bam. Is that not suspicious to you? You're going along in a line. This is moving it forward now. Oh, we've had a bit of a perturbation line intersect and react with the cloud. You know, when your spark clap, the wicked glitch must be flying again. So this isn't being done with jet planes. All right, let's get this settled. This is the chem bomb deployment, artillery method of geoengineering is spelled out in the Paris Accord governance document, which is so fucking easy to find. SIGI 111 geoengineering, CIGA. Or you get this here, right? You go have it. CIGI, number 111. From October of 2016, and if I take you here, you got a guy named Mr. Burrs who thinks it's excellent to block the sun. He's pro doing this. He says his name is Mr. Burrs. His name ain't Montgomery. We'll really just bring the Simpsons on home in this. And why didn't he hold a Mountain Dew can? He's wearing a Ukraine flag well in advance. It looks like somebody who, I don't know. If he called me his name was Uncle Klaus, it would not surprise me. I'm going to just go right to it. All right, you want meat and potatoes to back up what I just said? I say, of course, I've always got the goods. Right here, potential delivery vehicles for static sulfur dioxide injection include aircraft. And what's this word? Artillery shells. Here's your Roman candles and all sorts of flares. And there's your low-level deployment, stratospheric balloons, hoses suspended in towers, references number 59 down here. We go look at 59, Earth's energy balance and physics from 2011 being quoted. Benefits and risks of that has been quoted over here down on another line down here. This one's very interesting here. And Mr. Bodyco over there, climate changes. When you talk about putting some in, aerosols of sulfuric gas, something in the presence of that and water vapor will make sulfuric acid, he says. Right here. And you got another one over on this side. So I can bring her into focus for you. You just be some focusing. One of them actually says right here. Here, you just get there right into focus for you. Why do I call them chemtrails? Because right here it says there have been suggestions of injecting preformed particles of other chemicals. The word chemical. Right? See the word chemical right there? You get that right on up there in your eyeballs. Get it right in your minds as effect, because it says so right here. And some Dr. Philip Resch, U.S. testimony to the House of Representatives of the United States of America. They gave this in 2009 and published this study here. That was the actual what they did. Chemicals. Which chemical is it that they quote here? Such as... And you will love this one. Titanium oxide. Preformed particles. All right. I am not making this up. This is a very toxic soup that's above the top of the doors. And you need to start doing good instead of just virtue signaling. Because there it says it right there. You go look this up yourself. This is a very viable document to find. It's very easy to find, actually. Let me show you how I find this one, because I have. Yeah, we'll just type in a geoengineering challenge 2010. Right, we'll just copy this. Well, we could just go Philip Resch written testimony at geoengineering HE. There's a lot of ways this one's going to come up. And so I'll do this one first. And then hit enter. cut and paste, written testimony. And where's the USA government one? I prefer the real sites. Ah, here we go. This is government. Hearing things, testimonies, all this shit. It's right fucking here before your eyes. Don't you ever tell me. There's witnesses, same people. Ken Caldera, the same people that get the funding. These people are salesmen. They want the US dollar from the Congress, the budgets, and it's nothing new. And for a bunch of shittists to come along. And this guy here, his name is Caldera, is suggesting volcanic gases, from a volcanic caldera. Hey, a Carnegie name. What could possibly go wrong? I'm going to go with a rabbit hole anytime I want to. And then all this was discussed. 2009. Right there, before your eyes. You can find all this stuff. And there's better copies than that. I just gave you that one. I'm not pulling up my Facebook on this one. You can go get your homework. I'm showing you how to do it. Written testimony, cache files. Here's the whole thing. 19 pages of the guilt. Greenhouse gas concentrations coming out of his mouth with too much CO2 from his exhalations and not enough plants around him to turn it into oxygen. Where are they suggesting planting trees to fix it all? Why do they have to model the climate when Mother Nature can model it itself? Why must motherfuckers saying they're nurturing us? And why can't Mother Nature nurture nature? I just so many questions that just need the word deployment to refer to. You see this here? I am going to reserve the word deployment to refer to geoengineering to have a big impact on the climate. And I want you to see these sentences. This is only on page 3. It wouldn't take you long to get to this. Not long at all. If you gave a fuck about doing your own homework. Deployment activities. Right here before your eyes. Measurement strategies. It means you got to deploy stuff and measure it. Exploratory trails. Why do I call them trails? Why do I call them chemtrails? Because they call them chemtrails. Because Congress called it chemtrails. What a Congress full of baboons turns into a murder of old crows. Enough is enough. See it right there? Why does he call them chemtrails? Right, if you guys behave, if you look at me for a moment, I'll get you links to the following things I just shown you. Out of respect to people I message, I don't pull my Facebook up in front of you. It's rude sharing all the messages everybody has. All right, I'm going to get you the written testimony first. This is all right here. You could have done this. You could have done this yourself. I'll get you the Siggy paper again. Screenshot it away. Say you discovered something that I've been showing you for years. It's nothing new. Just give me a moment. I'm doing my homeworks for you guys. Siggy paper. Here's CAD. Learn to use it. You learn to use it. He'll bring you to the main. There you have the main. Where you got all sorts of toys to learn to play with. You're going to have to learn to use those yourself. Or watch closely when I do videos. You'll pick up on it. Right, here's that one. I've given you Mimic before. I've given you Windy many times before. I've been doing this for fucking a long time. I can bang my head up against the cognitive dissonance of the world, but damn if I'm going to have the self-induced cognitive dissonance that says don't look for the truth in my communities itself. I don't have a community. I do not have a tribe. I am a tumbleweed. What a wonder to behold when it goes by. But it grows everywhere it goes. Blows through everybody's fires and trusts nothing but the wind and the moss it gathers as it grows. The Rolling Stone may gather no moss, but the tumbleweed thrives on it. Ooh, with a tumbling tumbleweed. I mean, how much more proof do you guys want? Why do I call them chemical trails? Because there it says it. Right fucking there. Exploratory. Yeah, I get some exploratory for the race. Well, you get Schwaus, because they all say it right here. Preliminary remarks and costs. Tell you what, how much it's going to cost. It's going to cost all life on this planet too much if one thing dies. What cost do you put on a flower that brightens somebody's day? There never should be a time. When they start associating or a Manhattan Project, it starts bringing in secrecy and nefariousness. Here's on page 3. I said you won't get far into this one before you start getting a bit angry. Or both. So why can't we get information? Why is things hidden? Because we would say, no more. Mother Nature is damn sure not your whore. What, he whores my mother? I'll tell you some of the wording they use in these. This one always bothered me. Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change Activity, or a Manhattan Project, or both. It would involve hundreds or thousands of scientists and engineers, require involvement of politicians, ethicists. Who the hell are the ethicists? The Facebook freaking moral police? Standard setters? Social scientists. Well, you got a lot of experience in that during the COVID experience, as Neil Pascoe would put it. Possibly the military. Why do I say these military deployments of certain chemtrail methods look very much military? Calculations, just a few billion. Bullshit. Let's check $15 trillion. Al Gore, he's melting a lot of ice cubes to get that. Written testimonies, dollars per year. Stratospheric aerosol strategy. Again, I thought huffing aerosols was a bad thing. And you got all these things down here quoted when I get to the bottom. And it's up to us to get to the bottom of things, wouldn't you say? Wouldn't you say it all? Apollo program, just quoting money. Bill Gates threw $25 million at that program like it wasn't nothing. Why? Because if he destroys crops, he could buy the land and then plant his investment crops in it. The agenda bearers don't give a fuck about your vote. That whole system has both sides in its back pocket. How does it achieve the necessary forcing? Because they bring up a volcano. Acid rain, man, acid rain. We're picking it up all over the world. You guys have been picking it up yourselves by just using litmus paper. It's a very simple thing. It don't take much to do. When it's raining, you get you a piece of this. I'm just going to waste a piece just to show you. I like this kind. Hey, you pull it out. Hey, you tear a piece out. Hey, you hold it out the window. But you'll be handling it more carefully. You just stick it out the window. Hey, what's my water looking like? And then changes color after time. It's not rocket science. You hold it out the window and get it wet and look. You can determine yourself, by yourself, without a laboratory, if you are experiencing acidic rain. You can prove all the other shit. So you could, damn sure we can prove this. I've been asking a long time. And that's very good, as I usually like. Yeah, I'm hitting a little bit of acidic on it, but that's satellite tape. Just set it in here, take a fucking picture of it, and start keeping a record of your rain. It's easy to do. Timestamps your computer or the screenshot. So that's no problem. And make it a science project. So together we can all defeat acid rain again before it defoliates the planet completely. And other things get blamed that bring them trillions of dollars in funding. Right? Why could the bleach possibly be bleaching in some spots? Well, pesticides is possible, but try proving that when they got more money for lawyers than you got money to eat off of. And every time the guy after he died, when he finally got the DuPont money agreed upon for his town, that's a hell of a movie to watch. I remember the title of that one. You guys should watch it. It's typical of how a corporation reacts to society around it, that it is poison. And the less people it can pay off in the end, the better. And whatever deal they can get you to make, take your land, do to this after they've affected you,
There's so many things you guys got to look at and go over. It's just horrendous. And this is a vast document. And if I don't close it out, I'm going to not stop looking at it. I don't try to use emotive language and killers and this and that. I just have to show you that the climate is being changed by the man, so to speak, in the proverbial way, to use their phrase. The hippies that were in charge of poisoning you. The good hippies that are still doing the stuff on the land, we don't know where they are because they gave themselves to the land. And maybe their passings and blessings of the lands just get amplified by all us wanting to do that too. Great, grab your wines and go. Hey, just go whack it. Do it. Just be the light worker. Use your light tool. Just do it. You don't need it. Had to have my permission. Okay, you have my permission. Boom, you're a real light worker. Go. Flick off the light on your computer and go be the light worker. And quit sucking the life out of everybody around you being a carrot. And there are so many of what I call the guilt. It's like when you ate a cookie, you ate a cake, you frished it, and you lie about it, and the guilt's written all over your face. Well, I see these chemtrails as the guilt written all over the face of Mother Earth. And it's what that means when I say that. And it's oneness will decide the guilt. I'll provide the evidence. And as a judge, I do get to have certain edicts within the laws of oneness if it heals. If you don't like that, well, you just judged me. So shit, have I shown you enough about the documents today, this morning? My voice is starting to go away, and I haven't done what I wanted to do most. So I'm going to give you a quick peek as to the rain and the thunders and all the rumbles that I've been having an eyeball on. As I've been, aiming the totals down. So let's bring that back into the fold and get you some data here on what's coming ashore. Then I'm going to have a quick peek over New Zealand, and then I'm going to answer Chris. Mine with Noah, you ain't been forgotten, but when it's important for me to document certain data. Yeah, you notice I didn't do certain locals over there yet. I give them about 6 more hours, I might, maybe 12 hours. That's when San Diego gets its big smack. It is a big smack. It's dragging a huge tendril as it makes a direct hit with the tendril right here, all on this coastline here, where all the valley is, and all that I told you about where all the growing is. The growing region is getting direct hit. Right there, look. Watch when I go in. This is all of this is if I go to that, it'll give me a better map. Hang on. The totals will do it. And the accumulations are going to be terrible, like Lancaster. There's a lot of farming fields all here that are pinpoint accuracy of the flow. And I dare say, you don't want to hear this. This is the Swallow the Dreams move. There's another one behind it. Yeah. So, come on, mainstream. If I can spec that 2 days ago, I've already been documenting it. As the totals clearly show the path in the next 10 days is not accurate. The tendril coming up, they say it's coming right here to Ensenada. And I'm not all in agreement. That's for the next 12 hours. If I hit you on the 48, it's brought everything to this side of the mountain. It's also a direct hit on the San Andreas Fault. The amount of water and pressure and vibrations of the rumbling and the intersections of the beams that are going to keep this move, the earthquake risk is it's got to happen. That's one of the ones that say it's got to happen. Yeah, the dynamics. Over the next 72 hours, I'd keep my head down, especially when the low leaves. As the low comes across, it has an effect. Let me see if I can put the pressures in and give you an example of something I'd look at. Right. This thing here, it's not super duper low, but it still pulls a storm surge or a bubble of water up, which also pulls a bubble of water up on the mantle. It's an effect. Pressure. And as that drips, the pressure as it comes inland here, right around here, is what I'm seeing landfall today, which is a huge break for Los Angeles. But this storm is extremely wide. And so the flooding around Los Angeles over the next 48 hours is going to be high. because it's a direct hit on Long Beach, and all the whole hood and the barrio has been targeted. And I want all the homeless people removed from under the underpasses. You don't know how high they're going to go. Hey, I don't I don't know the lay of the land enough to have that information. So locally, you know what to do. Go do the right thing and help the guy. I don't give a shit. There's a junkie. You don't know what situation led to it, but if you could save a life beyond your own, without risking your own, don't risk safety workers in advance. Help these people, man. Help them. Help them. Help them. You would help a dog on the street. What if that dog was Jesus, the person on the street? You go help those people. Because these valleys out here are getting a direct hit. And over the next 60 hours, the totals here, and they're hitting this mountain that are going to head this direction. This is hitting the button up on this side of this mountain range here. Is all coming into these fields. It's all coming that way. And I'm telling you fucking what, there's your foot of rain I fucking told you about in writing days ago. Boy, if I copped it. And that's what's coming your way. And we're talking some of these spots up in these mountains that are directly targeted in these valleys here are sending water down here toward Red Dome. Whitewater River, like I said, is going to be awash. And when it hits this area down here, these crops are gone. If you got a chance to save any of your lemons, oranges, citrus crops, cherries, mangoes, any kind of Baja bursty things that would be using at the Mountain Dew can, this is a devastating total of rain. Oh, you see it now? And this is some of that's hitting this valley. It's a valley. And I'm not valley happy to tell you about it. I'm not. Some of these totals are absolute. And it's all on the spine up here. It's all going to rush down. You are going to have slides. Your roads and infrastructure will be fucked. If we don't unfuck this shit soon. And here's a direct hit on San Bernardino. They're smartening up your city. Fontana, Rancho, Cucamonga. Cucamonga. Hey, Australia, you should twin with the city called Cucamonga. Man, this is bad. Bad. And this is the weather forecast you're getting today. I don't care if I feed Higgins or any of them. If they get an accurate warning right now out there, that would be great. If everybody opened up your pay weather sites and unmonetize your channel so people's precious phone data doesn't get consumed on a commercial that you count on to give your paycheck, that would be great. And the next 12 hours, the spine of this is going more toward this direction. So swallow the streams that are toward Tecate sites over here. Because, on the 10s, it wasn't looking very good. They say a tendril will be coming up that way, and I'm going to disagree. It's because there's a storm that's going to impact southern Mexico here as well. As they're moving a tendril across, Acapulco and all that is definitely all affected. It's like a grand move is going on to storm this entire world using chem bombs, EMF, any little thing they've got. If I'll go over here and look at North America's next rad here, I'll bring that into view for you guys. Started here. You can see how they've been working the storm with the beams coming from the south. And I'll do a slow roll on this. Beam came on there. The guiding lines from these great big these are like big ones. SBX could be involved. We deserve an honest answer when they say they're doing experiments and they use the word chemicals and trails and preformed particles. A huge beam on here coming from over here. Is Arecibo, Puerto Rico active, or is that Gitmo? Guantanamo Bay has a lot of military devices there. Now you can see here a beam. He's come all the way down here. It's created a heated outflow line. This rolls along that line. This kind of just slides with it on a different layer of the atmosphere. This is bad news. Collects it on the way by and kicks their ass. See the beam line here? Where it is going to have the tendency to come in. There's even another V right here that's allowing flow to be released from over here in the Badlands. And when this starts evaporating, this rains here, it's going to fuel the Santa Ana winds. And it's going to possibly burn some cities to the ground. and I could see the conditions for it. And this ain't scare porn or nothing, man. This is, let's prepare and put the poor down. And let's go be a loving beings and get these people out from them off the low areas under the highways where they're living. Why did you wait for this to do it? See it? This is a frame by frame. I'm going to zoom it down actually so you can get full timestamp. This is a rather big one. Shows all of North America. Takes a lot to get this in frame. Let's roll that footage. I'll do it on a slow. Okay, I got everything in. There's North America through Canada. You can see when Alaska fires, and that'll be hard. You can see when other ones fire. As they're going to aim this up through this corridor in here. When it finishes with this, she's coming through here. And then when that evaporates in the desert areas out there, well, it'll be very beautiful flowers and life will come to life. But the cooling effect of the evaporation will make the Santa Ana winds rush that direction very badly. And there's a lot of places on fire right now. New South Wales has had some terrible outbreaks. Yeah, along the highway lines have the known agenda barons want their smart developments. Yeah, and we'll cover that, maybe not today. But there is a way to find out if you have a fire. Yeah. And New South Wales rural fire map. So I'm going to get that to you. All right. And it's an actual site. Fires near me. That's what it's called. Here it is. Excuse me a minute. I'm just going to get you this. So you can have it. Oh, you find my work of value and you wish to support it. That would be great. You could do so at paypal.me/Robert Deutsch. And if you ask a similar statement, like I said a moment ago, and put your state's name in, you very often come up with a map. Then you can say, oh, wow, what's going on with this one? It's under control. Well, that's a relief, you know. That's really a relief for me. I might do a zoom back. You know, I don't have to worry about that one. It's fine. You know, so not every one of these is a forest fire. You know, council area, being controlled, grass fire, 28 hectares. When you see being controlled, well, what controller made the fire? I sometimes ask myself. Yeah, we get some stuff here in the Yarrawonga areas, Digger's Camp, and that's bushfire being controlled. One of them was out of control. Bushfire finally is under control there. Right, let's do this for you guys. I'll do it, so you could be relieved. Grass fire under control. Bushfire under control. A whole lot of these popped up all at once, and then I can see if it's a controlled burn. Right, it'll tell you, Lismar, yours is under control. Yeah, but yours has popped up before. Where exactly in Lismar was that? Down there off of Dunun Road. Dunun Road, you're being hauled. Uh-oh, these are still burning. More info, alert level red, incidents outside New South Wales site cannot be reached. So you guys have more homework to do. And there's a big section of this park is being burned, it looks like here. The Creek fire was that thing. More info. And not allowed. So like I said, you guys get some of your homework. It's a fairly easy site to use. Right, where are the fires here? Then Queensland will be on a different site. Okay, so you will do that. You will keep yourself safe, and I will be watching your backs. Are any of the fires showing up on Asshole World Liar Review? It's one small step on our glance. One endless paycheck from mankind. All right, well, we got nothing to show there yet. How about yesterday? We see any fires yesterday? Whoa. Let's see, we got any fires showing up here in NASA Worldview? Computer says no. Any chem bombs in the ocean? Computer says yes. Look at this shit. Let me see here, folks. Nothing here. Was that a pendulum that sways? Was they having a lodge meeting over here? They need a special tent? Everything just bombing away, busting away, big old tendril. You guys had some storms, didn't ya? It's a funny color there. Ooh, smashed. Ooh, contaminated. Ooh, would you look at the guilt written all over the face of Mother Earth, and look who has showed up off the coast. Oh my! Gee, I wonder where your Mountain Dew can is. It looks a little bit ceremonious. It looks far from harmonious when I see the skeletons and the gray aliens showing up in your skies. That's one of them ones that goes, Mars attacks. Bang, bang, blah, 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 blah. One of them blah, blabs. The blah, blah race. The upside down Ku Klux Klansman down there. With a question mark. No, 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 no. Who's doing it? Who's under the mask? Where is fucking Scooby-Doo when you need it? It's time to pull the mask off. Can you look any more unnatural than this? And then that sounded like a big creature-looking thing with a stinger tail here. And she's, my imaginary demands it. Oh, yeah, there's a creature right there. Wham, and stinging that one, You're stinging my whole planet with these. Yeah, that's that aluminum hydroxide look. Hazed it all out, so you couldn't even see that they had sprayed you like bugs above that stuff. Like they needed to block any more sunlight, right? It was plenty black. You need to go to the high deck and put this bomb off over here. It's hard to see, but my definition of mine shows it quite well. You'll see the gray areas there. Look, there's shades of gray. I will not be silent while this extinction level event, as I've been calling it, the cull, as continues. That won't even look like a dead fish floating in the sky. We'll be dead, mate. We don't fix this. There'll be a lot of dead meat. How many swirlies, girlies you need out here dancing? Living a square itch. Alamein left and y'all getting hold. No more, I'm not your hoe. Kick them all out the door. Look at that shit. Look at the ice refraction of the light. That's different chemicals. That could be toxins. Hey, Jim, and the Malays cloud coming over. If the gas chamber came to you, would it be suggested by a German voice? Or would it come as a wolf in sheep's clothing as the tiki appears off the coast of New Zealand on the 19th of August? Witchy poo on her broom broom. And HR has been puffing some stuff in the sky. They're all puffing stuff. Killing life, I think that sucks. They're all puffing stuff. There's your Lionsgate head. See the royal symbol in the sky? It's almost like the royal crest. Deliberate deployment is something. It's skywriting, right? Look what they drew with their skywriting. If I have to say it like that, will you understand? See the triple shot there? You see the one that went over the top of it? That's 2 levels of the atmosphere getting deployment. I don't think there's Star Trek coming in. But I dare sure wish they'd beat me up, Scotty. I've had enough. So what's coming for you guys in the land down under? Where the government holds you, and I still wonder. It's not any super duper heavy totals showing up on the 10s. You have some clears showing up on the 5. Perfect conditions for the winds from the west there to bring the sand and all the fire accelerants that fell on the dust and the sand and all the came from the floods. Yeah, blow that shit right over your forest. Fairly fresh fire accelerant. Add some extra sulfur and you got a matchstick. You get a tinder fire. And well, I didn't really notice that. How many fires did we see here? They weren't in existence really then. It wasn't affecting. You had one down here going on. That'll make some red sunsets. That looks almost like a bomb exploded there. Boom, 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 boom. Jesus on the Krish hanging his head and they put chem bombs on him. What a fucking shame. That's what that feature always looked like to me. Yeah, you never seen the Krish. I call this, in my mind, this is the Australian Krish. See? It's Jeebus's. Right in the land. Yeah, that's your Jeebus's. I'm surprised you guys don't go visit there. Yeah, I've never pointed it out to you. Yeah, that's where Jeebus lives. You better behave. He's already there. You hung him. You guys love to shoot the messenger, don't you? Well, it's easier than confronting a very terrible truth that the toxins you see in the sky literally is the gas chamber coming to you. Some kind of really small aluminum particles, or you call aluminium, are making its way into our soil and our hair and our food and our dog food, our cat food, inside our freaking roses and all the animals in the world. And that's a processed ore. It can't just be a rock blown in the air by dust. We had to put it there. We, as a species, are human beings. And I sure wish we would evolve into humane beings. And that doesn't have to take generations. It's just an attitude of being humane. And then we could all be a bunch of humane beings being humane with other humane beings and not be worried about the colors and shapes and ideals and this of other things. Because, well, the symbiosis would be automatic. And as I'm watching the toxification of these desert lands out here, or they're frying whatever's down here, microwaving the hell out of you. Dash. And they're dashing for your land. They got dog drones that can walk around and burn you out. And an individual can own. Well, during an emergency, wouldn't that be a quick way to get your uncle a parcel of land if you happen to be allowed in those areas? And literally, Oprah could sit on her porch with a remote control and a freaking camera and literally burn a neighborhood down her own self. It would be the lowest tech way. She could. Would she? I don't know. I wouldn't. The convenience is a coincidence of her buying land immediately after disasters that she's attended meetings of to try to get what she wanted in the first place, and the disaster area said no. See the compound? Boom, 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 boom. You would think there was not much to show here. That was just microwave. But there's also chemical catalysts of some kind have been seriously put in your sky today. I told you the other day I was worried about fires. I said, you're ripe for it. The winds are there. It's very clear out here, actually. You really see good detail of the ground. There's the head, there's the neck, and it's not mined. Ain't mined that one yet. There's the man taking a piece, get a little more gray so you can tell that the rains are down now. And pretty soon that feature will go away quite a bit as that pocket goes away and the life dries back out. And it looks like your fire season has started. And the campground season is every time, anytime. It's always cyclone season when you got cyclone seasonings in the sky. And as far as you're looking at for the next quite a few days, yeah, we'll roll that beautiful bean footage. But if you don't mind, I'm going to do it on a zoom back. And I'll turn off some of the wind up. Okay, we've had enough wind up. Let's get rid of some of the particle animations. Smell of the map right on now. We'll focus our energy on the change by getting off our asses and doing something. Right? To trying to manifest with your head is nice. But manifesting with your head while your actions are in action and sweat's on your brow, that oneness will fight right with you. And so as that curler that impacted you guys there in the 20th and 21st does a loopy around the outside, they're going to cut the strand a bit and let it roll out to sea. Heat the air, send some of that down here in Antarctica to melt some of the ice. So you maybe can get a picture of a big ice cube and panic you enough to agree to give them that money, and that those documents show us putting very toxic things. And as we get in toward Monday, you'll see a bit of a shower line go in through through southern Australia and Clitoria down here. It ain't going to go too far into the New South Wales boundary, I don't think. Because, when you're trying to burn things, you have a tendency to not get them wet. Oh, sorry about that there. We go right back to it. And this, I did a nutty. Up. All right. As the showers here come through the backside, some of them winds might actually be fueling some actions. As they die in the trough against the sides of the mountains, there'll be some welcome water for them. Is any of this new snow? Because we're in winter time, some folks down here in this hemisphere on the 10s, it's really just the typical fjord lands, high mountain Alps, as well I was expecting to see. As we continue the map on. Notice how the viewership drops if I start showing that, man. My face at the beginning. Who gets the warning? Our tribe. And well, as we head in towards the end of the month, you'll get a little bit of action. But really, it looks, I dare say, like they're drying you out a bit, New Zealand. Your earthquakes have been a bit low, and that's bothering me. Yeah, it looks like your gardens will get a bit of a soak in there on the 28th. Well, it'll be the 29th your time at the end of the month. I was looking for that anyhow. As a bit of a curler comes your way. And on the end of the month, the pressure side. No, that's not well luck, guy. You get a dancer. You get 2 haze. That'll go away. That's in a problem. That's actually in the process at that moment of boop, and it becoming independent. So a beam will shoot up there, do a sweep. To get this moved down, it took beams up through these corridors here in these islands, and they brought it down actually through that Venturi, which tends to do a curveball here as they hand it between those 2 islands there. Hey, so I'm going to be watching this very closely. And the tendrils that they've actually manipulated down are rather heavy as they move that stuff up into the Japans. Hey, they left a big lump of it down there. You can see it on over on this one here. You can see the big lump that they've left here. Ooh, we get a big beam as just shed off. And we got a new one, folks. Here we go. We got a beam in progress, and it's a big blast. Here we go. That's why I say it's ever changing. You got to keep an eye on things. We got a big, big, big blast over here over Russia. Let's get this. I'm going to run this for a minute. Wham. Boom, boom, boom. So that's going to send a pocket of cold air down here in this gap. That's a quake maker. So this island will kick some volcanoes and stuff. And it does a lot. Wham, wham. Where did the second corridor get left? Cold air comes down through here and towards there to help back this tropical moisture. And totally fuck China's southern. Oh my God. That's a cold mover. They left a gap here. Look. See this thing right here? Wham, wham. There's another beam there. And the open corridor for the cold air to move has been created down here from the North Polar region straight down through this 120 east line. And it's coming in the backside of this stuff that's coming up in here. Oh my God. The totals of rain they've been experiencing over there in that part of the world has been terrible. Absolutely terrible when I look at the accumulations and the 10s alone. And you see what's coming. Will that go for Hanoi in that? Because they brought a big gap. The cold air is going to come down through here. It has to. It moved clearly says so. It's some of the pockets of tendrils that are up in these mountains. These are in inches. So I'm going to leave it alone. 33 1/3. My sweet Lord. Anybody just get what I did there? Chongqing. Hongqing. Hachung. Bless you. I like what I just did here. Nanchang. Problems. There's some big problems coming to these little parts of China over here, I have a feeling. It's some nagus is behind a curtain where naked smoking cigarettes and watching TV should be out there helping defeat the world. If any of those kind of people are out there hiding, man, that would be a great time to be accepted by the world for the beauty that is you. The Golden Child. Remember that movie? Come on, let me believe in anything I want. If people can go around believing a Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost and do beautiful things, then I can do that too. It's right. Oh my, Guatemala City and it ends. This is direct hits Acapulco. They're getting rid of the slums, man. They don't want no slums. Card says long hair creepy people need not apply. Yeah, Los Angeles and the 10s, they've held your totals down. This one's lying. This is a big lie. NAM only goes up to the 60s. They're being honest. Told you so. I told you so. Right. I think I've taken myself to my physical limits. I just want you guys to be safe. All right? Big love. Peace.